Yo, welcome to another rousing week in retail automotive. Just wanted to start it that way.
That's
Today
right.
we're talking about dealerships up, franchises down, Rivian's bricked, human models being replaced with AI, and anything else we can think of.
Everywhere I go,
We didn't think of any of that stuff.
No, we didn't think of any of it. It
We'll
just kind of
think of a lot before the show's
presented
over.
itself as quality content to commentate on. You know what I'm saying? Paul, you remember the one time, like, I don't know, a week and a half ago when you're like, Kyle, how's the
I
second
can already tell
half
this
of
is going to
March-
be a week.
How's the second half of March feel? And I was like, yo, in the retail business, it's game time, go time. If that felt like that, it's another amp level when you get to the last week of March. Like it's almost in me.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but there's this thing that builds before that last week of March, just in my psyche from being in it for 12 years. That's like, okay, get everything together, pull it, let's go.
On top of that, it's a Friday close and a Saturday start to April. So like that combination is like
Unbelievable.
pandemonium. Pandemonium. Well, we'll be reporting live from here. We should just be on location on Friday in dealerships across the country.
How you feeling this morning? Papa. Yeah.
Maybe we'll try to do that on Friday. Just like get some dealers to come on a show Friday morning.
You should. That's exactly it.
All right. We'll see if we can make that happen. We'll see if we can make it happen. Hey, got a few things to talk about. We have a webinar this week. If you haven't seen the promo for it, you have to just go to the Asoto on LinkedIn. It's hilarious. You want to see Kyle lose his mind on a customer service call. We're going to be with our friends at Call Review talking about driving customer loyalty through service. It's going to be a lot of fun. Look, the webinar game webinars should be fun, right? They should be lively. They should be energetic. They should involve a dealer, which this one will. And so we hope you join us on Wednesday, 2 p.m. Can you sign up from the website?
Yep. Asoto.com. Scroll just a wee bit, and then you're right there.
Bingo. Also, we're going to be in Arlington, Texas on April 5th. It is literally, is it 1 week away from Wednesday?
1.5 weeks. Yeah.
Oh, good night. Good night. So we're coming to Arlington, Texas. We're going to be at 3 dealerships beforehand. The night of the 5th, 6 in the evening. Check it out. ASOTOX.com. We hope you can join us live. We're having the Live Tonight Show. Michael Cirillo will be co-hosting with us. We're going to have the live band. We're going to have lots of people from dealerships all in the area and outside the area. And for those of you who can't make it, we are also going to make it a live stream event. And it's our first evening event.
Hey, this will be interesting. I'm
Gather
excited.
the family around the smart TV.
Right.
And watch this sucker on YouTube.
The whole fam. There you go.
Like, and your kids are going to be like, so that's what you do at work? And you're going to be like, not really. You work for Jimmy Fallon?
Yeah. Oh, that's great. That's great.
All right.
This week, Motor Madness is rolling out. So we got the Final Four this week. Monday, today, we got the 87 Camaro versus the 63 Corvette. And then on Wednesday, we got the 2010 Astro versus the 22 Bronco Raptor. Woo! Come on.
We were in the Costco parking lot yesterday. And wouldn't you know it, we pulled in next to it was a Safari. It was the GMC Safari, which is, the Chevy Astro twin.
Yeah.
We pulled in next to that sucker, and Miles, who works here at Asoto, and he's 16. I'm sure he's seen one before. He's like, hey, Dad, that's an Astro, right? I was like, yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Astro's on the comeback. So he picked up on that. Oh, so, lots of things moving along. Speaking of things moving along, here we go. Show plus the dealer census. The latest Automotive News annual dealer census shows an increase in the number of franchise dealerships in the U.S. For the first time in 3 years, the count rose to 18,271, marking a 0.4% increase from the previous year. However, the total number of franchises actually dropped by 54 franchises. And the way that maps out a little bit is Ford actually lost 31 franchises. Lincoln lost 54. It would make sense that franchise specifically had a lot of motion this year. Ford Motor Company in a statement said that many multi-franchise Lincoln stores were dropped to focus on the Ford store. I guess that makes sense with new investment and a new trajectory. They did not comment on the Ford stores that they lost.
No comment.
Smart PR department there. I got a little experience this year. Genesis dropped 36 franchises. Obviously, they're in the middle of a big restructuring. And the people that we know that have a Genesis franchise seem to be pretty optimistic.
They're happy about life. Yeah, I will say that. Every Hyundai, Genesis, Kia dealer is happy about life right now. So Yep.
Overall domestic badge stores decreased by 66, while imports gained 12. Notable, I'll put it in there that Polestar added 26.
Have you been past a Polestar store?
I
was just in Atlanta at the Battery, and the Polestar store. It's right outside of Truist Park, the baseball stadium, and the Polestar store is basically like a little corner Apple store. It's white, glass everywhere, 2 cars sitting on the showroom, little order kiosks, little information kiosks, and nobody in there.
And brand spanking new because no one's in there. Oh my gosh. No, I haven't. Maybe I'm trying to think, like, have I driven past one? Probably at some point, but I didn't have a chance to see nobody in there. The average franchise across the board sold 425 new vehicles, which is actually an 8.8% decline last year. Hashtag inventory. Cadillac's per franchise sales actually jumped 45% in 2022. So they rose 45% to 240 new vehicles franchise. That's the largest increase in the industry. And as a reminder, Cadillac dropped 313 stores in 2021. So more inventory for fewer stores equals 45% increase in sales. Jeep doubled its exclusive store count. All these new Jeep stores rolling out, while Hyundai, Mazda, Mitsubishi, and Kia all added double-digit gains.
Which makes a lot of sense because all of those have said that they're going to be pushing to gain market share. They're smaller market share brands that are looking to add stores. I know of multiple people that are getting blue sky open points with those brands right now. So we're going to see those continue to grow. Interesting that the landscape is growing overall in franchise dealerships, even though we've seen a decline or still a stifled new car inventory.
Right? You would think with all of the talk we've had, we would not have seen that result. But
here we go.
Kind of goes back to the point of like controlling the things you can control. It sounds like a whole lot of people are out there controlling the things they can control and not reading the news every day. Yep, right. And making all their decisions based on the doomsday, not this news. We just commentate on the news. The doomsday news. Speaking, I don't know how to speak about this next one.
Speaking of a little doomsday.
Not quite there. Not quite doomsday.
Not quite there. Not quite.
Snowmageddon. Brickageddon. I don't know how to talk about this one in a sensational clickbait headline, but one upstate New York. This one hit close to home because this is about a little town that my family and I go once a year in the Adirondack Mountains in upstate New York, just a couple hours from us. And one upstate New York resident waited 3 years for his Rivian R1S and then promptly bricked it in deep snow. And if you're not aware, bricking something is when you have an electronic device that just goes completely dead. You can't do anything. It won't turn on. It won't respond. So Chase Merrill was driving on an unplowed road in the Adirondack Mountains. He saw all those commercials of the Rivian R1S.
Just going over stuff, right?
And he got it stuck in a snowdrift. That's okay. That happens. Okay. People even do that in the biggest truck. You see a truck out in the middle of the field with the mud, and it's like, everybody knows what happened here. Yes, so attempting to rock the car out of the snowbank, you know how you go rock forward, backward. Yep. Well, he triggered a safety feature that got the car stuck between park and drive and therefore rendered the car completely unresponsive.
Isn't that wild?
Well, he called Rivian, right? What are you going to do in that situation? You're going to call Rivian. You're like, hey, I have this situation. And they were like, you're going to have to take it to a service center. So he paid $2,100. You know, this was the talk of the town. Right. The tow truck driver in the Adirondack Mountain shows up, all like,
with a big old gas powered tow truck. Diesel just spewing everywhere.
Dude, everyone in every little town up in that area heard this story. I promise you. And they didn't read it. It's like, I saw one of those electric vehicles up here, had a tower all the way back to Massachusetts. Right. And they don't talk like that up there, but sounds like it added to the story.
Just the south of the north. That's all it is. That's what you just told me.
South of the north. And so basically he tows it 2,100 miles to the nearest service, or $2,100 to the nearest service center in Massachusetts, which is like 400 miles away. And basically Rivian offered to pay for the repair, not for the tow. And then Business Insider reached out for comment, and then they offered to pay for the repair. That's how that usually works. So apparently this could have been fixed.
This is the funniest part of the whole thing. They were like,
a simple reset.
So that you know that little button that you can stick your pen in and it just like resets everything on
Hold
the
it for 13
That's all
seconds.
you needed. You just needed a pen. Hold it for 13 seconds. We'd have been good.
I wish I knew what the actual reset process was on that.
I wish I did too.
You know, it's
if it
right
was
next
something
to your
like
radio.
That where it's like hard to find with the little pin. And
it says hours, minutes, right? That's how you used to adjust the clock. And then it's like vehicle reset is the third one.
Yes.
So basically the vehicle came back and then it said that there was a critical error, right? A critical error warning on the dash. And it said you had to take the vehicle to a service center for repair. So, you know, this owner, Mr. Merrill, he says the attitude the whole time from customer service is that a Rivian owner should be able to handle the problem. He says they just think it should be nothing. And for me, it wasn't nothing. So he said the car's super impressive and I want the company to do well. I think I'm just not the right person to be an early adopter.
Oh, what a story. And this thing's everywhere. I've seen it no short of 6 or 7 times in different platforms on different news sources. So obviously something where from a PR perspective, Rivian's got to get their their stuff together. But $2,100, I don't care if you're a millionaire or 2,100 your take home pay. $2,100 to get your car towed is a thing.
Yeah,
and especially
it's not just the money. Just think about all the disruption.
It's a disruption, yeah, and that's a long way away, probably. And I mean, this is
what
I think that especially manufacturers have to be thinking of, not just like over-the-air updates for subscriptions or software or anything like that, but what's the genius bar response of a customer calling like this? What am I doing to make sure that we're doing everything we possibly can to fix that thing over the phone when you have all of this access to software, access to data, potentially a wireless connection. I think that's the opportunity here when we have all this connected vehicle data is what can we do without having to tow this thing to make it work? And I think that dealerships are probably going to have to start thinking about that. Like, do we have a virtual technician, right? I mean, all the OEMs have it. Would a dealership, start to solve problems over the phone?
Yeah, that was kind of Rivian's tone, the like, hey, like we have opportunity to do better in this situation. It just happens to be one of those situations that came up, and it's just it's one of the things you see it on the commercial, and then you see it in real life. I wonder how the family got home. They were up truck. No, that sounds like a 1990s movie waiting to be made. Speaking of the thing, I don't know.
Things waiting to be made. There you go.
Oh, there you go. I missed that one. I missed that one.
We're just so energetic this morning. The segues just aren't there.
Missing the segues. Okay. Swinging a miss, singing a miss. You want to talk about ChatGPT?
I do. ChatGPT and AI are continuing to dominate almost every cultural conversation. It comes up everywhere. And one form of AI is a new visual form of AI in multiple different places. But this company has created inroads to retail clothing manufacturers. Levi Strauss has recently partnered with AI Amsterdam-based startup LaLaLand.ai that claims to create hyper-realistic models of every body type, age, size, and skin tone to model clothing on its website. So this company has pioneered AI tech last year to show clothing on models of shoppers of a particular size. And a lot of advocates are saying, hey, it's really great for shoppers to be able to see what that might look like on them before they buy, without having to have 100 models on the site. And so there's a lot of people that are it's kind of like one side or the other, right? I want to be able to see that. Models are starting to question whether or not there's validity in the market for them, and whether or not this starts to ruin job opportunity.
Yes.
So there's concern as well as excitement. So it's
just like everything in tech. I don't know. I might have just spaced and not heard you say it. The company's Levi's. And basically the big push, right? To see, it's important that people see people that look like them in the clothes.
Yeah.
Right. And I think that's the whole thing, right? So we talk about a variety of diversity, from ethnicity to body type. You want to be able to like, hey, what does that look like on me? And now to be able to pivot through and see different body types and different ethnicities in the clothing, it's going to help. And so, the partnership makes all the sense. And people saying like, well, brand authenticity is super important when you come to retail clothing. So is like AI generated models, like kind of, leaning on the talent to exemplify the brand attitude and the brand values, like, right. That is something that actually plays out. Right. So they're saying, how is AI gonna, change that? And maybe, we should go to just, human models. But I think the reality is AI is absolutely going to displace anything it possibly can.
Yep.
Within an ethical standard.
Or I think enhance. I mean, like a lot of people are afraid of the word displace. And I think actually it's more of an enhancement.
Could be.
Thinking about how you utilize this to create efficiencies and enhance customer, employee experience, all that experience
for sure
is the opportunity.
Right. Like, enhancement would be like have human models doing the original thing and then the AI posting varieties of that. Right. There's an enhancement. So on this Retail Wire article, they always have a great comment section of people that have been vetted. And one commenter, Gene DeTroyer, professor of international business of University of Finance and Economics in Guizhou, I don't know what it is, in Sanya, China, commented this morning, my non-scientific, non-projectable research with my coffee shop compatriots suggested that they can't tell the difference between real and AI generated models. So there you go. There's one unofficial man's opinion. We have opinions, you have opinions, but we all have a lot of work to do. It's the beginning of this week, which is going to be a real banger. We'll try to get some dealers on the call for Friday, but until now, you have 5 days to close this month.